Are you ready to have some fun? Well, you're at the right place, and that's Happy Friday America right here on the Discussion Combustion Happy Friday America YouTube channel. You just got done listening to the Fricashinas. They play us in and play us out every single week. You see them at the bottom of the screen. Be sure to show them some love. My name is Kevin Batstone. I'll be running the ones and twos tonight, having some fun, going through some of these articles. That's what we do around here. It's kind of a lightning round. We have some fun on Happy Friday. We worked hard all week, guys. It's time for the weekend. And, of course, I couldn't do it without my colleague, Mr. Arthur Rawe.
Pleasure to be here. Let's bring in the weekend strong. And so my words of wisdom on this fantastic Friday is only you know your goals and only you can accomplish those goals to the level that you want to get it done. Ain't no one going to do it for you. Let's get after it. Let's bring in this weekend strong.
Let's go, Art. So today in history, this has become a fun topic that we do weekly. Usually it's a little bit in the middle of the show. But, it just felt like here on October 6, 2023, it was the right way to kick off Happy Friday. We have some fun things that happened on this day in history.
Yeah, so fun. The first one that we're going to start off with was in 1927. And this is actually a big one, introducing the sound era of motion pictures. Bringing sound to film is such a cool thing to highlight. I believe that the movie was The Jazz Singer, and that was starring Jolson. And that was in New York City is where it premiered.
I mean, look, a lot of great things happen in New York City when it comes to arts and entertainment. I'll tell you what, man, on this day in history in 1993, I'm a sports guy. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan, the great Michael Jordan says, man, I'm retiring. I don't have anything else left to prove.
MJ.
He's like, I'm out later. I've done it. I came. We got the record. We're leaving, only to return in March of 1995.
Yeah, he couldn't get enough in the way. What'd you say? He won
another couple
bunch more after
a
that.
bunch more championships. We know the guy's record. He actually is now the most wealthiest sports athlete of all time.
Is he?
Between his Nike Air Jordans, between his NASCAR ownership, between the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan's a legend.
He is a legend, and that's not allegedly either. So while I was looking through these, I noticed a concerning pattern of October 6th, and specifically with the USSR. And apparently the USSR really enjoyed doing nuclear tests on October 6th. So I found 4 dates total, 4 years total, where they did this on October 6th. So it was 1957, 1961, 1967, and then also 1983. Obviously, the USSR didn't last too much longer after that. And then I had a quick tidbit, still involved in Russia and everything. In 1986, the Russian nuclear sub, the K-2-91, sinks in the Atlantic Ocean.
Pretty incredible stuff there, man, especially with the USSR. Of course, I think of the Beatles song, Back in the USSR. Mm-hmm. Why October 6, 1957, 61, 67, and 83? Like, you think they did it on the 7th, on the 5th, or was it like, it's the 6th, we got to test?
I bet you it was all over the place, but for some reason, as I was going through, I kept seeing nuclear tests performed, and it was always USSR, so I was like, man, what's going on with that? What's the last one we got here, Kev?
Yeah, there's definitely a common theme there. So it looks like in 2018, so just a handful of years ago, there was a Rugby Championship out there in Australia, and with a big comeback, Art. They had a huge comeback. 45-34 was the final score, but they had to come back, and they did it, with 5-score deficit.
Yeah, and coming into the half, they were 7 points compared to 31. So, yeah, biggest world comeback rugby history.
That's pretty serious stuff right there, man. Rugby's no joke.
Oh, I mean, you think football. I mean, football has like this, but people who play rugby, like, they're built different.
Yeah, no, they're tough.
They're like,
they're tough. No, that's a pretty aggressive sport there. So that's fun, man. That's today in history. So moving on for all of the Aerosmith fans out there, look, who doesn't love Aerosmith? Good music, good times. The tour was scheduled all year long. It was supposed to come through Denver here, all these things. Well, apparently Steven Tyler absolutely destroyed his larynx. Blew it out.
What's the larynx?
It's your vocal cords.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty serious injury. It happened to James Hetfield with Metallica back in the early 90s, and James had to go through vocal coaching and things like that. Of course, James was a lot younger then. Steven Tyler, of course, is an older man. And this was the farewell tour, Art. This was it for Aerosmith. So they've had to postpone the tour. Originally, folks thought, well, this is only going to take a few weeks, for him to get healed up. They'll be back on the road. But they've actually pushed it into 24. So all those dates are being rescheduled. Kind of a tough deal, man. But, Steven Tyler, if you've listened to Aerosmith, he hits some high notes. You have to have a voice to hit that.
Yeah, and on your last tour ever, you really want to make it special, right?
Yeah, you want to go out with a bang, which I guess he did. He blew his shit. He rode it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's able to recover that voice and and get out there. I mean, what was that one movie where they sent up the rockets to blow up the meteor that's going to come in?
Armageddon. That's a great movie.
Yeah, that Armageddon and Aerosmith to me are like the same thing.
Wow.
Because they like had a music video that was very popular with that movie.
I was wondering what the connection was going to be there.
Yeah,
there was
they
a
had
music
some
video.
of the songs in there. Yeah, and it was all that was all intertwined.
Isn't that where Stephen Buscemi? He's in that movie, and he's like, "Oh, the general just overshot the landing by 25 miles." And the guy's like, "Well, how do you know that?" Because I'm a genius. It's a great line. Steve Buscemi's fantastic. I think that's Armageddon. I could be wrong. I probably am. Keeping it moving here, we love animals. We love furry friends. We love all of our animal friends, fishy friends, you name it. We always get into animals at some point. Art, you got something on some Pennsylvania tortoise.
Yes. Coming out of PA, and honestly, my land animal, my land spirit animal is a tortoise, so this one really stood out to me. So this guy, Tank is the tortoise's name, and he went missing.
Tank the tortoise?
Tank the tortoise went missing for the third time from this veterinarian clinic. Okay, so Mike, who works at the veterinary, at the clinic.
Veterinary?
No, we're just going to keep moving. Mike works there at the animal hospital.
That's only something I would say.
And he is actually the owner of Tank the tortoise.
Okay,
so the tortoise lives.
So it's a house tortoise.
Yeah, the tortoise lives at this animal hospital.
He's just chilling.
But kept in an outdoor enclosure, and there was a hole in the fence. So this is the third time that Tank has escaped, and he made it more than 2 miles.
That's incredible.
More than 2 miles. He was gone for how long was it? I think it was like a couple weeks it took them to find this guy.
Yeah, it says more than a week that he was missing. That's a long time for your tortoise to be on the loose. 2 miles, though. I mean, we know how slow those suckers are. He was just on the run. This thing wanted to be free.
Yeah. Where were the intuitive? Because animals have this intuition. Yeah. Like, where was the intuitive stuff taking this tortoise?
Well, what I want to know is why, if it escaped 3 times and there's a hole in the fence, why didn't you repair the fence? Okay, the first time I get it, oh shit, he got out again. We better repair this fence.
Yeah.
Third time, it's like, come on, man, fix the fence.
Well, maybe it was in like a new zone. Maybe Tank the tortoise is resilient like raptors in Jurassic Park, and they keep testing the fence for weaknesses.
Very possible. I'm glad that Tank has been returned safely back to his veterinarian, and his veterinary his veterinary home. For all the visitors out there that are doing animal hospital visits, you can go see Tank out there in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, look, if Tank the tortoise can do it and find freedom for a little bit and make it that far, so can you.
That's right. That's right. You can absolutely have the freedom to do whatever you want, including breaking records. And that leads me to my next segment. That's Kev's Random Records. Dun, dun, dun.
This one's cool
Random
this week.
Records. This one comes right from our backyard here in Colorado. There's 45-year-old man breaks the chin-up world record. This is intense stuff, man. And here's what's crazy about it, is the guy blew his back out the night before the competition. He didn't know if he was going to be able to compete.
Goodness.
Had no idea. And we were talking about some serious stuff here, Art. I mean, he did 1,010 chin-ups, okay, beating the previous record of 990. 993 was the previous record. And this is within an hour. Okay.
Within 1 hour, okay.
So you're ripping. He said, I feel, he was out of breath until about the 44-minute mark, and then he could feel, all right, let's push.
So you can like rest for a minute and then jump up on the bar. It's just you have 1 hour to do as many proper as you can.
Think about that.
They don't have to be consecutive.
I don't think so. I'd have to check with Guinness Book of World Records on that.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, it's how many chin-ups can you do in an hour? 1,010 is the new record.
That's wild.
Do you think you can compete with that?
With years and years of training and the motivation, I mean, his motivation was not himself, but a friend that named Mike. He was doing it for Mike's memory. So he had something bigger to do it for. He did mention like 44 minutes in, he didn't know if he can make it the whole way. So I do love that part of the story, because whenever you're really going for something big, something that people aren't doing, there's that one point where you want to quit. You're like, I want to quit.
Well,
but then if you keep going, then all of a sudden he like caught the second wind and made it happen.
Made it to the promised land. And when you push your body that hard, it's no surprise. He threw up. As soon as he got off the bar and the thing was over, he vomited. You've overexerted your body. We've all been there in extreme workouts, biking, bicycling, swimming, whatever you're doing, to a point where you feel nauseous.
Yeah.
Right? This is intense stuff, man, especially with an injury. He did this through an injury. He's now the world record holder for chin-ups. I'm not going to attempt this, man, but that's pretty cool stuff.
Man, Frank, what a legend. Frank the Tank is probably what they're calling them now.
No, that's Tank the tortoise.
Tank the tortoise. Hey, man, there's multiple tanks out here. They got tank tops.
There is. There is.
What else could we throw a tank on? Gas tank.
Yeah, you can do a lot of tanks. You could do Happy Friday tank.
A Happy Friday tank?
Yeah.
What would that be like?
It would be like, only on Fridays you reach into the tank of happiness.
Oh.
And fun.
Oh, well, wouldn't we want that every day?
Well, no, it's Happy Friday. It's right here.
What is Happy Friday? Kicking off the weekend right.
That's right.
And you know that we're bringing it in with the Would You Rather.
The Would You Rather. The
Yes.
weekly Would You Rather. Be sure to follow us on X at Happy Fry USA so you can take the poll every single week and get involved in the comments down below. Art, what do we got this week for the Would You Rather?
Yeah, please tell us what you would select. So I'm going to let you do this one first. Would you rather have unlimited international first-class tickets or never have to pay for food at restaurants again?
So this is a tough one because I love traveling. I love to go internationally. And both of them are fantastic options. After further review, the ruling on the field is I would take never have to pay for food at a restaurant again.
Really?
I would, because the way I look at this is, we just went out last night, with no discussion combustion. We had some food.
Yeah.
These things add up. Not that I eat out every single night, but if I were to never have to pay for food at a restaurant, I'd be eating out at the best of restaurants at all times.
That's
right?
true.
I'd be going to Eddie Merlot's. I'd be going to Ruth Chris. Whatever. Just eating good food all the time and not have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Save that money up a little bit, and then take my international flights when I want to.
Yeah, I can see that. So I'm going to go the opposite route on this one, and my reasoning behind that is if I knew I had the unlimited international first-class tickets all the time, then I'm going to be more apt to use it, right? Just like you would be more apt to go to the restaurants for free all locally, right?
Yep.
So that's going to motivate me to travel more frequently, which is something that is becoming more and more valuable to me as I'm growing older. So yeah, I'm definitely going unlimited international flights. I'll pay for the food when I get there. I'll pay for the dinner date as well, ladies. You know how it goes. So what are you going to select out there? Would you rather have the international flights or unlimited restaurant budget?
Yes, absolutely. Let us know. You can get involved on the Twitter X poll. And I pulled up our live action results here from last week, guys. The poll last week was, would you rather never be able to go out during the day or never be able to go out at night? This was a unanimous decision. 100% across the board, people said daytime. I want to be able to go out at the daytime. So they're getting rid of the night.
Really?
They want to go out during the day. That was unanimous. Thank you for everyone that contributed to that poll. Definitely want to get involved.
That is fun.
Weekly. Moving on. So this was a fun story that I found, Art, and the headline is what pulled me in, of course. So the headline reads, "Low-flying helicopter puts Australian farms crocodiles in the mood." And so I'm like, I got to see what's going on here. So apparently there was these military helicopters flying around, a Chinook out there, and
those are the big ones.
They're massive
with two different like blade rotaries or whatever on the top.
Yeah, they're like the big cargo ones, like the Cargo Bob from Grand Theft Auto, the big hitters. And these things were roaring around this crocodile farm. And what the farm owner noticed is, because mating season is upon them, right? And these crocs are getting ready to do mating. Apparently what this did is it added a little bit of a level of roar, and it brought out the ferocious testosterone in these crocodiles to want to do sex, right? Because they heard this, and they're like, ruh, ruh, and it just got them in the mood to make aggressive moves at the females. And I think it's funny.
It is funny. So there, in quote, there's something about the sonic waves that really gets them stirred up. And like I could just picture the guy here at this farm. Oh, cool, Chinooks. 'Cause I always get all jonesy when I see I'm like, sweet, that's cool looking. But then, like you're saying, like all of a sudden they all start hearing this, feeling the vibrations, and they all start getting all wily. And I mean, to have basically a croc orgy after a helicopter's wave coming through, that's interesting. I had no idea that would be associated with one another.
Yeah, when I first read that, I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? And, it's just crazy to think, right? These wild creatures. Because crocodiles are pretty aggressive. Mm-hmm. They're more aggressive than an alligator. I mean, I'm not saying that.
And crocodiles are
saltwater.
Saltwater, yeah.
Yeah, alligators are freshwater. We see them down in the bayou, down in the south. And I think there is some crocs, too, out in the Everglades of Florida and some of those areas. I think you see crocodiles down there. But as far as I've always known, crocs have been known to be the more aggressive species. But man, they're pretty prehistoric when you think about it. Mm-hmm. These things they're scaly, they're massive. They're just cool looking. I've never seen a crocodile. I think live action. I've definitely seen gators. live action. But either way,
not even like an aquarium or something.
Yeah, I don't
like a zoo or something.
Maybe I have. I mean, maybe at a zoo they had a crocodile. I'm not sure, but either way, this is just interesting. It's just crazy to think how a simple military helicopter going by gets these crocs to roar, and that makes them want to do sex.
Well, it's powerful. It is powerful noise, and sometimes that could be like a mating call kind of thing, because like they come from the do the whoop thing.
Yep.
And so that's interesting. One cool thing about crocs is they are prehistoric. They can turn off like their stomachs for 6 months. They don't have to eat. They can slow their heart rate down and like live for like months in the mud, not doing anything, and really resilient creatures. Super cool.
Powerful creatures for sure. I actually learned a fun fact about crocs and gators for that fact. The most juiciest, tender part, like everyone wants the tail. Mm-hmm. Gator tail, croc tail, what have you, is the jowl. The meat that is in the power behind their bite.
Oh, really?
When they cut that jowl meat out and dice it up and make like alligator or croc tacos.
Really?
Apparently that's where it's at.
Huh.
That's where it's at, is the jowl meat. I learned that recently as I was watching a feller kind of dissect and gut
I want to try
a gator. And the jowl, he's like, this is it. This is money right here. It's prime. It's prime real estate. But in any case, a lot of folks know Chief Meteorologist Kevin Batstone. He took the summer off. Yeah, he took the summer off. He was on summer break. I usually like to report on extreme weather. We got hurricane season going on. We got the winter weather coming up. So I kind of dove in a little bit and did some research on, what the weather patterns are looking like.
Yeah, what we got, Kev?
Yeah, so as we get ready to enter into the cold weather here, as the fall, and then into winter, it's looking like El Nino is strong this year, for sure. El Nino is definitely strong, and it's going to impact weather patterns across the entire nation. Now, from what we're seeing here and the way the patterns are trending out, because I'm not going up Farmer's Almanac here, consulted with AccuWeather, kind of looking at some weather patterns and just where the weather is trending with the moisture we've already had. The Northeast guys, I think you guys are screwed. Back where I grew up, you're going to want to get your snow shovels ready. It's going to be a snowy winter. I'm predicting about an average winter.
Let's go ahead and buy some toilet paper now.
Yeah, stock up.
Yeah, before everyone starts freaking out over this.
Be ready. You're going to have some nor'easters. You're going to have your typical storm systems coming through, the lake effect snow in Buffalo that we saw. Excuse me. I think we're going to see a lot of that again this year, a lot of snowfall up in the Northeast. Down in the Southeast, you guys, I think, are also going to see some wild winter. I think you're going to see some ice. I think you're going to see what we saw in Atlanta a few years ago. Cold weather is going to be pushing down in Nashville, Atlanta, in that area. I think you guys are going to see some slick conditions at times, but for the most part, still looking like it's going to be kind of an average winter. And by average, I mean the temperatures, the precipitation, all that. Out here for us, Art, in the Midwest, it's looking like it's going to be a repeat of last year. So the average snowfall for Denver is 49 to 52 inches a year. And it looks like we're going to land right in that area again. So it's not looking like it's going to be too bad, in the Kansas City, Denver, kind of the heartland, Midwest area. And then out in the West, you guys are going to have a wet winter. That's just what it's looking like. You're probably going to see a lot of rainfall. You're going to see a lot of moisture in Southern California, maybe even into parts of Arizona. I think Phoenix is going to see a lot of rainfall come December and January. That's my predictions going into this winter.
Very well said and articulated. Thank you, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Batstone, for HFA. And I'm wondering, Mr. Meteorologist, are we going to get any of those super fucking cold snaps again here? Because I remember last winter, I was on my walkathons, and it got down. I was out there walking when it was 5 degrees. It was tough. Do you think we're going to see that again? Yes.
I think we're going to see a definitely, usually since I've been in Colorado, which is 16 years now, I've noticed that between Christmas and just after New Year's, so like the first week of January, is usually where we see that really, really hard freeze, where we'll go sub-zero. It gets really cold overnight. I do think we're going to see that, but I think we're going to see a lot drier. I think we're going to see some dry conditions throughout that time period. And typically in Colorado, it's just so tough to predict once we get into the spring, right? March, April, May, we see a lot of snowfall here in Colorado, those spring storms. I mean, there's times it can snow up to Mother's Day here. So I'll reevaluate that as we get into the spring forecast, but as we get ready to kick off winter, that's where we're at.
No, that's fun. I like it, and it'd be kind of fun to try to predict next week's weather, and like you take some cracks at it as we go into the winter and all this stuff happens, and see how accurate
we'll have some fun with
your
that.
Predictions are. I think that could be kind of fun to add in here.
Yeah, as the winter weather kicks around, this winter, nor'easters, all that kind of stuff. We'll be sure to cover it all right here on Happy Friday America.
Yeah, and that was a part of Happy Friday Denver, which if you go way down in the videos, you can still support the older stuff when we were rocking with John X, and so many good times. I got the next article here, and that is drinking dark tea could be bring a balance to blood sugar levels and also help decrease stage 2 diabetes. Now, we are not health experts here at all. This is an article that we read. There is a link in the show notes below, so you can do your own research on this. But I found it interesting because I definitely subscribe to natural healing supplements, things of that nature. And if we could drink tea to help our blood levels and also decrease diabetes, and that would be fantastic. So these studies were actually done out in China, though, and what they did is people who drank dark tea every day had a 53% lower risk of developing prediabetes and a 47% reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. And what's up with this? Compared to the people who never drank tea at all. Okay, yeah, so with the tea, why it's good is because the fermentation process is rich and healthy in bacteria and probiotics that may improve gut health. So I think that's all really cool. I'm down to start drinking some darker teas and seeing how that starts to make me feel. But I also kind of subscribe to the placebo effect. If I believe,
right,
then it is actual. Just like if you think you're getting sick, then you normally get sick. Kev, you say, oh, I never get sick. And you never get sick.
Right.
So perception is reality. I need to go buy some dark tea. What do you think about this?
I like tea in general. I don't usually drink a lot of dark tea. I typically drink, herbal chamomile and things like that for sleepy time.
But chamomile kind of has a darkness to it a little bit.
It does.
Are they talking like black or Earl Grey? They didn't give me the list here, but what would you consider being dark tea then?
Yeah, I would say definitely a darker, like Morning Thunder, some caffeinated things. Because, we've learned coffee's been, on the radar for a long time as far as, is it good for you? Is it not good for you? Does it have health benefits? Is it not? Some people say that the caffeine, it expands your arteries, which can improve blood flow, which can get rid of headaches and things of that nature. And I think a lot of that probably is true. And so I don't see why this would be any different, because I do think tea, when you watch a lot of these survival programs and you guys are out in the wilderness, they'll make pine needle tea, right? They'll boil it down with some pine needles in it just to get a little bit of, vitamin C or whatever other nutrients they can get. And I think you get a lot of that with tea. And so, I'm a guy that takes garlic and beetroot extract every single day.
Yeah.
Right? That's part of my multivitamin. I take beetroot, garlic, adding this I don't think would hurt, because I take those things for cardiovascular health. And if this is going to add to the blood sugars, because look, we have a lot of sugars in our foods.
So you're not into the caffeine right now. So you'd probably go with like a decaf dark tea.
I would go with a decaf. I don't necessarily need the caffeine. I'm kind of off caffeine. I don't really need it. But I like this. I like stuff like this, because we've always known tea has some medicinal purposes. I still would say, though, anything in moderation. I don't think you drink tea all day long, all day strong, right? A cup or two a day is probably going to have some improved results of lowering blood sugars, reducing your risk of type 2 diabetes. I think all that's legit.
Yeah, I think so, too. Again, we're not health experts here, but interesting to look into. Would you rather only drink black coffee or dark teas for the rest of your life?
I would take the black coffee.
Black coffee.
Yeah, I love tea, but
yeah,
I'm kind of off coffee right now. But when I drink it early in the mornings, I would take coffee over tea, hands down.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I made a pot of tea, and I make coffee almost every day. So
that's fair.
I'm interested in tea, though. I like the tea.
Yeah, I like the tea.
And also all the people who call drama and gossip
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, no, get that out of here. All the tea, drama, gossip, where
did that start?
That's for the birds.
Where did that start? Because
Stuff's for the birds.
I saw the Kermit the Frog meme where he's like sipping on it.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes it seem like, I see what's going on, but I don't really care.
Yeah, you know how much drama we could perpetuate here between our two programs and Mash the Gas? We don't do any of that. We don't brew tea here, and we don't subscribe to sipping the tea of gossip.
No drama allowed. Love you, Coach. Well, man, it's time to get to the weekend, huh? We worked hard all week.
Yeah.
There's fun things going on all over town. Of course, there's still, fall fairs, all that stuff's going on. So check out, whatever fairs and fall fun things are going on. Pumpkin patches and corn mazes. Those are going on. But here's some other fun things that we found going on this weekend. What you got, Art?
To start off, I'm going to go ahead and say Atlantic City Comedy Festival. Do you want to crack up? Do you want to crack up tomorrow and Sunday the 8th? Atlantic City, New Jersey.
That's a fun town. If you've never been to Atlantic City, it's kind of like the Las Vegas of the East.
It is.
Some people say that about New Orleans, too. But down in Austin, Texas, another huge party city. Huge for live music, of course. We got the Austin City Limits Music Festival. That's a lot of fun, man. I'd love to be down there. That's all weekend long, all weekend strong. It starts tonight, goes on all weekend. So definitely if you're in the Austin area, not only can you go to the Comedy Mothership and see Rogan and those guys, great music down in Austin, Texas.
Oh, man, that's going to be fun. And speaking of comedy, like we were talking comedy in Atlantic City, one of your favorites is going to be in Milwaukee.
Oh, Bill Burr the Great. Bill Burr is fantastic. He played a show here live at Red Rocks on Netflix. If you haven't seen that, it's great. And if you're in Milwaukee and you want to laugh your ass off, just be prepared, though. Be prepared. If you're going to go to a Bill Burr show, do a little research on his comedy so you're not upset when you get there.
Yes, please, please. So, honestly, this one sounds kind of warm and cozy to me. The Fall Festival in Montgomery, Alabama. That's going to be today through the 9th, Monday. So this is actually longer. Look, if you're doing anything Sober October related or you're doing any of these challenges, if you go to some of these festivals, what I'm going to be drinking is I'm going to want some of the hot apple cider, non-alcoholic. That sounds so refreshing to me right now with like the cinnamon stick in it.
Yeah, no, the apple cider is really good. If you drink too much, though, it could give you diarrhea.
Whoa.
Yeah, too much cider you want to be careful of.
Okay.
I worked on a cider farm, Wilder Farms.
So how many cups is acceptable of cider?
I would say you want to stay under a quart.
Under a quart?
Yeah, you don't want to drink more than a quart.
Okay. So you could drink like 3 coffee cups of cider?
You could have 3 cups, I think.
Well, is 4 coffee cups of cider, is that a quart?
I mean, it depends how big your coffee mug is.
Well, let's say, a 12 ounce. How many ounces are
usually
in a quart?
Coffee mugs are like 8 ounces, I think.
I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about that.
The standard size. Because
like
I can't fit a whole beer in it.
Your good old medium coffee cup, isn't that 12 ounce?
I don't believe so.
I don't know about that.
There's the big ones.
But that's a 16.
I don't think it's a 16.
I don't know about that. We're going to have to do some research after this show.
Somebody knows. Lori, help us out.
Somebody's saying something out there.
Help us out, Lori.
We can't hear you right now.
Yeah, we don't know anything about anything, but what I do know is the Fall Festival sounds like a lot of fun. For all my Alabama friends down there, you're looking for some fun. It's, finally cooling off. The humidity subsiding a little bit. Get outdoors, go do a corn maze, have a cup of cider. Let us know how many ounces it is, and have a good time. And I'll tell you this is a big race coming up this week. And as you guys know, NASCAR is my other show that I do, Mash the Gas. Be sure to tune into that. Monday nights, drops everywhere.
Yes.
Anywhere streaming podcasts. It's not on YouTube, so you're going to have to go to the
audio only.
Audio only. The NASCAR playoff cutoff race, the Roval, guys. Charlotte, North Carolina.
I'm looking forward to this one.
We're doing road course racing inside of an oval art. So we come down the back straightaway. We snake through a little bit, what would be the turns 3 and 4 in the oval, and then we dive back into the infield.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that, and also looking forward to the spicy barbecue wings. Are we doing the wings?
Yeah, I'm smoking wings this weekend.
Okay, cool. I'm excited. We have it on wax now. It's for sure going down. And also, so it's on record, I'm going to contribute, and so we can get extra wings. I'm gonna get down on the price.
We'll do. I think 3 pounds would be good.
Yeah, we're gonna get down on these, and so let's get down on the weekend. Thank you for getting down on another episode of Happy Friday America. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. It means so much to us. If you want to check us out on Instagram or Facebook, that's Happy Friday USA. On Twitter, aka X, Happy Fry USA, and that's FRI. And of course, old school, you can hit us with an email, or you can check out the DCPC number underneath Google and hit us up for a phone call if you really want to get personal. Happy Friday America at gmail.com. Frickin' are going to bring us out as always. Let's go.